to the Empower Hour podcast. Here we are inspiring women to embrace their inner voice and speak their truth. I'm your host, Amber Dobkins, and today's guest struggled with an eating disorder, dealt with physical abuse, went through 4 miscarriages, and was left by her husband in a foreign country with her kids. Now she is an international author and soul heart leadership mentor. She lives in the forested range close to Munich, Germany with her 2 boys. And today she supports her clients to own their story, embrace their uniqueness, and transform their pain into power. I'm so excited to chat today with Issa Mary Blanco Simmons. Welcome, Issa Mary.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you to everyone that watched this now live or afterwards that be resonating with us, and it will be ignited and inspired and with the messages and everything that we share together tonight. Well, tonight here.
Today where I am.
Different timelines. Yeah. But yeah.
Yes, it's so lovely to have you on here. And I always meet with my guests before we do the podcast. So you and I chatted a few days ago, and we were both so activated by the discussion. Like, I remember just having chills. And so I'm so excited to chat with you today and see where our conversation goes. But I would love to start with something that you shared with me when we chatted. And you mentioned the capacity we humans have to bounce back and that there's always a choice. Can you expand on that thought?
Yes, of course. I would love to. That's a big part of not only of my work, but also of my own journey. And the part that I say that it's a choice is because the choice is in the moment that we are either we stay in that victimhood role, that part, or we use that as a stepping stone. Like, I'm going to use this pain. I'm going to use this. In my case, was broken. Yeah, really, truly, it just cracked me open, and I'm grateful that it did, because that's what allowed me to be who I am now. But from that brokenness, instead of staying there and dwell in that and just choose to be a victim, I said, you know what? No, I'm going to use this pain. I'm going to use all of this to propel me into my highest potential, because from here I can use this to become. And that's something that I'm super passionate about. And it's a cornerstone of the work that I do with women and men. But is that choice, because it is a choice. And it might seem sometimes that we do not have a choice, but we do. And the other thing that I feel, for me, it's the key, is that we are the chosen ones. We are the chosen ones. We are the ones that are going to take us out of that place, out of that despair, out of whatever situation it might be playing out in our life. We are the ones. It's like you're waiting for a savior. I am the savior. I am the one that is there for me and in everything. And it's for each of us, and it's with you and with every single human being. You are the one. You're the one that have the capacity to really propel you to just that quantum leap, or that leap into this incredible, magnificent being that is inside of every single human being in this planet. No one will convince me otherwise. Oh, there's some people have it and some people doesn't. No, I don't believe that. I don't buy that. I believe that we all are unique, magnificent, incredible. Every person has something that unique, again, that makes you, and there's no one quite like you in this beautiful place that we get to call home. There's no one quite like me. And that is, I said to everyone, I said, that's a superpower. That is just there. It's a superpower. So it's from that, and going back to your comment, is it's that choice. What are you choosing? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to stay in fear, or to stay in that pain? Or are you choosing to use this as the fire, as that flame that it's going to bring you, and it just takes you to that so many other places, so many endless possibilities that you have within you. So that's how I feel it. And that's the thing that I really truly like to bring out. because I believe that everyone has their own story and we all have in different ways, but everyone has struggled, has suffered, and have felt pain or despair or challenges in different degrees. But still, it's something that we all human beings have in common. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I love how you're describing it, how we're being cracked open. And sometimes it's through that crack that we shine the brightest, which sounds like what you're describing, and igniting that flame within to where we have, some of us have to go down to that lowest of low to find that phoenix, that
Yes.
brightness
Yeah.
within that allows us to be unique, to
Yeah.
embrace our power within and move
Yeah.
forward in that. And I love the phrase that you use, like, we are the ones.
Mm.
I listen to Nako and Medicine for the People. He's one of my favorite singers and artists and songwriters. And one of the songs that he has is "We are the ones that we've been waiting for." And
Yeah.
you don't have to wait any longer when you are here to pick yourself up, save yourself,
Yeah.
or empower yourself and have your own back and move forward in that. So I love how you are igniting that in people and bringing that forward, because it's something that's so important in these days, and that we don't have to look at each other as separate or
Mhm.
different. We can embrace our uniqueness and let it flourish into something more, because I think so many people look for others that have the same belief as them or that are just like them, where there is beauty in the contrast also, and
Yeah.
allowing ourselves to be ourselves and seeing what blooms from that.
Yeah, totally. And one thing that you said that I really, it's two things that for me is a remembrance, because I believe that it's there. It's just that sometimes we forget.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to be cracked open, or sometimes we don't even have to get to the extent of being cracked open like it happened with me. But we need something to bring that remembrance, that okay, that little spark, that jolt that just doof, and then it's there. It's something that moves that spark that comes back, this, as I said, remembrance of that magnificence that we all carry. And as you said, that we are the ones that we're waiting for. And it's from a place of, and something that I'm super passionate about is just in that empowerment of people. Like, really don't give your power away. It's when we're waiting for someone to save us, to when this step, then I will, when is this, when in that, we're giving willingly, we're giving our power away. And that is so sacred. It's our inner power that we all have. It's your right. It's for you to have it, for you to claim it, for you to use it, and not to give that away. So you know what, no, I am my biggest cheerleader. i am
Mm.
I am here to hold me and support me. And I'm not going to wait and start for waiting and waiting for validation from the outside. I validate me. If the outside resonates and brings that and shines that back to me, that's wonderful. But if not, I have me and you have you, and we all have us, that inner cheerleader. Let's just say it like that. Yeah, like our inner cheerleader that is there for, like, yes, you can. Yes, it is that certain kind of voice that we have inside. It's to really hear that and to get in touch with that part of us. As I said, there's endless possibilities within every single person. Endless
Mm.
possibilities. Is again, what is you choosing? What is your choice? And there's a choices between, there's two possibilities, and without getting too deep into what consciousness and all the things, but there's two possibilities. There's fear or there is love. What are you choosing? Are you choosing based of fear, or are you choosing from love? And what I always tell, and I try to just remind people, is just choose love over and over and over again. Choose love and choose love. It might sometimes not seem like the easiest, and I would say that it's an illusion, but again, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But that is the answer, that is the choice. Love. That's it. Act from there, react from there, speak from there, be from there. That is the place. Yeah.
That is so beautiful. And I totally agree. I do believe that everything falls under two emotions, love or fear. And you may have a million emotions that you're thinking of right now, the viewers that are watching us, but really it does only come down to two, and you get to choose. And you can just ask yourself, am I reacting or responding out of love or fear, and feel into that. And
Right.
for you, Issa Mary, like I can only imagine you being put in a position of being left in a foreign country with your kids, and probably feeling alone and all the fears that you may have
Yeah.
had. How did you choose love in the moments like that?
Love is there always.
Mhm. Yeah.
And love, even when we are, I remember in those times, as you said, feeling alone, it's that would be an understatement how I was feeling. But I was never, there's a difference between loneliness and being, and I was never alone,
Mhm.
truly alone, because I have, and when you said that, who was that? And it's God.
Mhm.
God is love, and God has always been there. And regardless of what label they put into that, it could be spirit, it could be source, it could be mother, father, God, whatever you believe in, is that absolute, that power that it's beyond on our mind cannot even grasp what it is, but we feel it, it's there. That's what keeps showing me love. And it is simple things as being outside and just witness the sun coming out. That would be hope, and there is hope in things. And I would see my kids and they will give me hope. And my family lives in a different country, so I didn't have any, I still don't have any family here. But it's that constant reminder that there is love all around us. Again, it's a choice, it's what we choose to focus on. And yes, I was alone, in the sense of that the person that I thought it was my life partner decided to leave. In that sense, that yes, and I didn't have any family here, yes, that touch contact part was not there. But life and God, because it was God, it was mother, father, God, it was spirit, and it was source, and it was all the incredible support that we have unseen around us, that keeps sending so many, I call them angels. To truly believe there were angels in my life, and people that came into my life that now I feel like they are my family. They are not blood related, but in my heart, they are my family. So love it's always there. And it can be from that random person that offers you help when you are in that really, really low point in your life, to a random, or just to see that the birds singing outside when you open the window. It's just, love is there, and love is God. And that those are that's the language of God, I believe, to communicate with us. As if we're not attuned enough, and to hear him, how he's talking, communicating with us, to say, I am here, I am here, I'm never gonna let you, ever and never will let you alone. You're not alone. I'm here with you. We're here. We are here, because it was more than one. It was, we are here with you. And it's just a choice to look around and see them, and see the love and the support that is always ever present in our life.
I love how you describe that, because it feels like you always had that support and guidance and love around you. But in the moments when we feel alone or separated, it's when we can see beyond, and
Yeah.
feel that love supporting us, and helping us choose to see it, and choose to have our own backs and move forward, and look outside and see the love in every little thing, like you said, a bird
Yeah.
or a smile on someone's face, and then being able to connect to that person because you're open to receiving that love and giving that love. It really feels like it opens up something within us that
Yeah.
allows that in, and allows us to open our eyes and see what's already there.
Yeah, exactly. And to also to be open and to trust. Trust is a key. It's such a, it's a key. Remember, in well, in that time that really, really struggling. And I would like ask God, like, why are you putting me through this? Like, wow, like I can't take it. Like I don't think I have it within me to just, I have come through a lot of stuff in my life, but that was like one thing after another. And I was like, okay, God, I'm at my face on the ground, like I am eating dust, and you're still like poof poof. It's like, oh goodness me. And it was just trust. Just don't fight the process, just trust. And that trust and that surrendering, ah, it's not easy. Well, it was not easy for me. I must say, maybe it's easy for other people, but I was like, okay, surrender. And just, I keep hearing always that it was just trust. You might not see it, but we can you trust me? Of course I can trust you. And there was a thing, have we ever let you down? We're always there. And God is always there, and our spirit or source or whatever you want to call it. So is that, and that's surrendering to just see the bigger picture. And sometimes the bigger picture is not the picture that that we have in mind. Definitely that was how my life went. It's not what I had in mind, but am I happy now with how it is? Absolutely. Can I see the picture now? I'm like, now I get it. Now I can see why 3 years ago you did that. I can see it. I didn't have the capacity then, but today when I look back, I said, yeah, now I see what you were trying to. But in the middle, in the midst of everything that was happening, and it's hard for us to see the bigger picture because we're so immersed in that pain or chaos or change or whatever it's in it, that it's hard to have that perspective to really, and I said that, and it's just to have that, get the eagle, like go up above, and just to get that broader perspective, to being able to see again the bigger picture sometimes can be tricky when we're in the middle of it.
Absolutely. But as you mentioned, it's so empowering to know that this is happening to us, or for us, I'm sorry, not to us. And there
Yes.
is something that can come out of this, and knowing and trusting that when we're in those low moments, that we can say, okay, I know that somehow this is bringing me wisdom or experience or something that I can use in the future to ignite hearts or set a fire in someone's soul, whether it's my own or my community, that this will be used for good someday.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Because it's the thing, and there's two things that come through when you say this is, I always say there is a gift after, when we are in the midst of the storm. We might, and it could be raining, cats and dogs, and it was like rah, everything, tornado, rah, it's like sure, crazy. And I always tell people, it's like, once we are after the storm, and the storm will pass. No storm is forever. There is a time when it will pass. And that moment when it passes, and you're like, okay, you might be soaking wet and like punch and like, oh, like you came out of a storm. You look down and said, look down, what are you holding? Here's the gift. And where's the gift? The gift is that you're becoming. The gift is a transformation, because that storm was helping you to become the highest version of yourself. That storm was helping you to leave behind all the parts of you that no longer serve you, all the things that you have outgrown, all the things that need to fall off. That storm was the gift that facilitate that releasing, that peeling off, that letting go, that just all the things that really, it's like we have ungrown parts of ourselves. And sometimes we need a storm to really shake us, to allow us, because we're so either determined to hold it together, like, oh, we're so identified with this version that we just don't want to let it go. It's like, no. I said, no, yeah, it's just, you have what parts you have outgrown, and then this falls, and it's then is that transformation, that's a gift. And it could be that you become more secure of yourself. You learn how to self-love and self-care, and you learn to be independent, and you learn how to stand on your 2 feet. You learned about self-respect, you learn about boundaries, you learn about, poof, there's so many gifts. And that's what you get out of this process. And that's the beauty of it, because there's always a gift, always a gift. The situation might be, and I mean, not only what happened with the father of my kids, but already from eating disorders, or from when I was physically abused, or every time, everything left me with an amazing, such an incredible wisdom, and a gift, truly a gift. And we go back, what is your choice? Are you choosing to stay a victim and say, oh, I was physically abused? Am I going to stay like forever in victimhood? If I feel like, no, I'm not. Well, that's my own choice, right? I respect everyone to have their own choices, but my choice was like, no, I will not let this define me, as it was from when I have my miscarriages. And it was like, oh, shame, I'm so sorry. It's like, yeah, it is hard, and it was heartbreaking and all the things, but I'm not going to let that define me or my future. Or when the betrayal of my ex-husband, I'm not going to let that define me. I am much more than all the things that have happened to me. All the things that happened to me, they were doing this. They were the bridge from that to the highest version. And for that, I'm grateful, because without all this, there would be no bridge. Each of the things were a different stepping stone in that bridge that was taking me, and is still taking me. I'm not there yet. We're all of these beautiful masterpieces and on constant work evolution thing. It's just another stepping stone. And I think that's key, to see it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like coming full circle, and being able to look back and having the 2020 vision, or whatever phrase you want to use. I love that. Now, you just mentioned boundaries. I know boundaries are so important to you, and boundaries helped me so much when I was in the pain and becoming my future self, or the person that I truly wanted to be. Boundaries really helped me. Can you share some of your thoughts on boundaries?
Yes. One of the things with I love boundaries, because I believe they're a game changer, and I believe they're survival skill. Like, to that extent, I was like, oh yeah, really? No, well, for me they were. So yes, in my story, yes, they are survival skill. And boundaries are our guardians. Boundaries are, I love to say how I use this description is, for me, boundaries are bodyguards. Boundaries are the ones that are there to keep us safe. Boundaries have nothing to do. Some people sometimes have a little bit of misunderstanding, and they feel that boundaries have to do with being selfish. And boundaries it's all about you honoring you and loving yourself before others. It's one of the definitions that I truly love about boundaries. It is this: boundaries having the courage to love yourself enough, so much, even when you are at risk of disappointing others. Sometimes we have to love ourselves. We are honoring ourselves and loving ourselves, and we have to set a boundary. And some people might be they will not be so happy about that, but it's about what is first. It's about me. Boundaries are not about the other people. Boundaries are about me, about you, honoring you. And boundaries is like, and what is a boundary? It's as simple as what is okay and what is not okay for you. And for what you show up, and for what you don't show up, for what you're just like, for this, I'm not showing up. I'm not going to participate in that. And boundaries, when they are communicated in a very loving, compassionate, and empathic way, there's nothing wrong with, again, there's no being mean or selfish, or it's just honoring you. It's how you communicate that. That's obviously, that plays a role, but it's keeping you safe and honoring you and your voice and your beliefs and your needs. And again, coming back to that place of you are your biggest, you're backing you. I am I am here for me and I take care of me. And how I take care of me, using boundaries is one of the tools that we can use for that. They're actually amazing for that.
Yes, I agree. Boundaries are so powerful, and really we are supporting ourselves and honoring ourselves through boundaries. For me, I noticed that I was a people pleaser and I was giving to everyone else and not to myself, and then I was coming to my family drained. And once I set boundaries in place, I really started to feel myself come alive again, the energy within my body fill up again, because I knew I was supporting myself and having my own back and not allowing things that were so depleting or allowing myself to be mistreated, because so many pleasers
Mhm.
allow themselves to be treated very poorly. I mean, it's so heart-wrenching to see these beautiful people be treated the way they are sometimes.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's simple. It's just as simple as saying no, or it's not always a mistreatment. It's just knowing, like you said, where
Yeah.
is my line, and how am I going to hold that and share my voice in a way to where people understand, hey, this is my line, and I that's just my line. It's nothing against you. It's nothing negative. It's just where I choose to support myself.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one thing that you said that I love, and I tell that to people that work with me, and it's no is a full answer. You're like, what? Yeah. Why? I said, no.
Mm.
And no, you have to explain yourself. No, actually, I don't have to. I don't want to participate in that. Nope. I don't know. Nope. No, it's an answer. It's a full, we have this, there is this need, and especially for people pleasers. And I did this because guilty. I was such a people pleaser. Oh my goodness. So I totally resonate with that. I recognize how I used to be. And it's from a place that we have to, that feeling of we have to explain and give, but why? But I said, no, I just, because as you said, because there is a line. And this is, and another thing is recognizing where I end and when the other person starts.
Mhm.
That's basic also in boundaries. We have to recognize the difference. This is me, but that is yours. Doesn't belong to me, or that is not my thing. And to just, that line that you said, that boundary, that again, that line that separates us, not in a bad, it's just not in a, oh, you're there and we become islands and we're floating. No, I have nothing to do with that. Just about respect. This is me respecting me and honoring me. And that's something that you said that is really, I think it's really important to mention, is this, that I call them, that's a slippery slopes, or this very thin ice with boundaries there, like, or tracks with boundaries. That is that feeling sorry and feeling guilty. That is, it's one of the things that's like, oh no, but it's like, and the other thing, that pleasing, that deep believe that we have to please and we have to say yes, so we have to do things for the people that we love even when we don't want to. Is that, no, that's not like that. You can, again, you can, from a place of love and compassion and respect, you can honor your needs and honor your values, honor your beliefs, and say, okay, I understand, I see what you're coming from, but I don't want to participate in that, or I don't want to do this, or I don't want to just, again, no. And conversation, it's from a place, and boundaries are actually, in some people say, oh, the boundaries, as I said in the beginning, it's being selfish. Boundaries are the most incredible things that we can use in a healthy relationship, because it's laying all the cards on the table. It's not, there is nothing's hidden, like, okay, this might be, no, this is what is okay and this is what is not. This is what I show up for, and this is where definitely it's going to be a no for me. And when the other person, everyone around us know what our boundaries are, the relationship, it flourishes. It's amazing because we know their boundaries, they know our boundaries. So say, okay, no, no, you know what, that for her, that's a no-go. No, well, no, I know her and that's the thing. Or no, that person doesn't. You get to know the boundaries, and it's a beautiful thing for that healthy exchange in a relationship.
Mm,
They have nothing to do with being selfish.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with being selfish. It is actually so empowering, and I find that it actually fills me up where I'm not as selfish. Like I if that makes sense, because I feel like when I'm not putting boundaries in place, then I'm drained and then I become selfish. Like I have to protect myself even more from the people that I love when it's not really them. It's that I didn't put a boundary in place somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, and I really I love the tip that you're sharing of that no is a complete answer, because I
Mm.
have found that like you said, many of us feel like we have to explain ourselves, and there are some people that are just excellent manipulators, and I've found
Mhm.
when I say no and then I explain it, they find a way to get in there and tweak it and say, oh, and try to talk me into it, and I'm like, no, no, and then I'm trying to find other excuses. I'm just grabbing out of the air. No, I can't because of this, because of this, and the conversation just
The loop,
keeps
you start like,
going. Yeah, and
yeah.
then there's this draining energy, and I think that's important too. Like we have physical boundaries, but we also have energetic boundaries.
Oh God, yeah, totally. Absolutely, absolutely. And there's another thing that plays out there is that resentment that you said. That's another of the traps in boundaries, or that thing eyes that I was talking about. And why you feel resentment? Because you said yes. Well, everything inside of you was saying, no, 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 wait, why are you saying yes? No, no, we're saying no, 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 no. But you're like, yeah, 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 of course, yes. I'm like, what? No. And then you end up doing something that you, at the first place, you didn't even want to participate to begin with. That's why we start feeling resentment, or we start feeling this like feeling. It have nothing to do with the other person, because it's actually you, the one that said yes. So again, it's go back and said and boundaries are really about what feels okay for you, because everyone is different. What feels okay for me might not feel okay for the other person. So that is, it's, we need to know our values. We need to know what, again, for what we stand up and for what we don't, what is okay, what is not. We need to have that clarity, because without that clarity, boundaries can become, they can be blurry, and then it's inconsistency in boundaries is one of the things that we want to avoid. We try to always, with boundaries, is consistency. We're consistent. This is it. It's like, oh well, today this is the boundary for Mondays and Wednesdays, but on Tuesdays, then I'm gonna say yes. Somewhere like that. It's like, this is the boundary. That's it. This is how it is. That, and you're consistent with that boundary.
Yes. And I work a lot with confidence and empowerment. And as you're saying, if we are not secure in who we are and what we believe and where our values are, then it creates doubt. And then it
Mm.
opens up where we're not holding our values or our beliefs. And then we lack confidence, because now we can't even trust ourselves. We have
Mm.
turned on ourselves and not trusted that intuition within that says
Yeah.
no, and then we find ourselves saying yes, so we're going against ourselves, and then there's
Mm.
doubt, lack of confidence, the boundaries go away, and then we're drained.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's a thing that I say sometimes, and it might sound a bit harsh for some people, and it's like, you, when you keep doing that, you're betraying yourself. And it's like, oh no, that's like, that's too much of a word. Betrayal is like, oh no, no, I'm not betraying myself. It's that, yeah, because you're not honoring you. The moment that you're not respecting you and honoring you, what do you call that then? You give me the name. What is that? How that looks like for you then? And it is in some sort of, again, different degrees. But when the moment we don't respect ourselves, the moment we don't honor ourselves, the moment we don't stand up for ourselves, we're letting ourselves down. And we are, again, we are the ones. We are the ones. I am the one that keeps me safe. I am the one that have my back. I am the one that is there for me. I am the one, I am my biggest cheerleader. I am. So I will not do that to myself. It's you stand up for you. And again, you can do that with boundaries. It's just you keep doing, showing up and showing up and showing up. And we're doing it for ourselves. And nothing is more, I cannot think of something that is more worthy than ourselves.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Oh, there's so much there, and we could talk about boundaries forever, I'm sure. But I love how we're really talking about going inward and listening to our inner voice, or even our
Mm,
heart. And I know you work with the heart on so many levels, and that's part of what activated our conversation the other day. We were just talking about the heart, and it was so
yeah.
yummy. So, do you want to share some of the things that you do as a heart leadership mentor?
Yeah. So I would love to. Yeah. One of the things that I feel that is very important, especially in these times, I think it has been always been important, but these times are really calling for that. And I refer to this as the longest journey we will ever take is the one from our mind back to our hearts, because some people, not everyone, but some people, it's so used to operate only from the mind that they somehow forget. They have forgotten how to operate from the heart. The moments that they allow themselves to be fully in their heart space, to be in this incredible place of, it's our guidance. This is our compass. It is our internal compass, and it is a compass that can never go wrong, ever, never, ever. So, oh no, I followed my heart and then I made a mistake. Did you? Really? Let's unpack that. I would love to hear that. And because there's a few things that can play in it, but when you are truly in, when you truly drop into your heart and you hear your heart, and in here I would tell people to really, they have to be very aware if it's coming from your ego or if it's coming from the heart. The heart will not, there is no conditions when it's coming from the heart. If the heart is unconditional, the heart is the place that it's just, and our heart, this compass is having our, it's for our highest good. It's really pointing us, it's truly pointing us to our, what is the most, again, highest potential for this beautiful human being that I am guiding. That's what I will point towards to, and our heart is pointing us towards that place. The thing is that sometimes our ego mind will come in. It's like, no, 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 whoa, 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 you want to go there? No, wait, no, no. And then it comes and plays all this doubts and all the things. They're coming from past experiences, or from not even experiences of our own, from, I heard this, I have seen that, I have that, and it's all this noise, interference that can come. And as I tell people, I just feel it, how it feels, like, yeah, it's just like this is their solar plexus, without getting too deep into energetics, but it's just feel it inside. That's why I say, what do you feel in your gut? It's for a reason. There is this, everyone knows that. Is that, what are you feeling? Does it feel expansive? It feels like, that's hard. It's the heart. It's that leap of just to, that's the heart. It's feel contraction. It's like, your heart is not going to take you there. It's expansive. It's to go to that expansive place. It's just the ripples. We were talking the other day, and it's just this really how I see with the heart. The heart have this incredible capacity to, when it happens to the heart is when we drop to this place and we act from our heart and we talk from our heart. It has the capacity to create ripples, and there are ripples that expand. And when you are in that vibration, when you are really in that in love, when you're really feeling that, people around you, without you even having to say a word, they will feel that, and they will be ignited by that love. And then that will activate this other person, and it will get in, this ripples will start doing the same. And then it's the ripple effect, actually. And then we create ripples upon ripples, and it just keep expanding. And it's just, it's just amazing. It's just truly incredible. It's such a miracle. It's a beautiful thing that is available for everyone. So how you do it, you drop here, drop into your heart, drop into your heart and feel, I don't know, I have forgotten how to do that. It's just, what brings you joy when you think about something, and for everyone, for each person might be something different, what brings something, a memory. It's just, and a memory, we use that just as an activator, just to tap into it. Just think about or feel it. You think into it first, you bring that memory, and then you tap into that feeling. We anchor into that resonance, that vibration of that moment, and you feel that and how it feels, and you feel it, and you see it with people. They will start smiling automatically because they tap into it. They are already there in that vibration, and it's keep that and bring that feeling, and just keep that feeling. And that was, we start with that, bring it out there. And yeah, I love doing that, and I love the effect, the ripple effect that have. It really, love is contagious, and I cannot think of something more beautiful to be. I don't know how you say it in English, contagiado. Yeah, I cannot think of anything more incredible to be contagious from than love.
Mm.
Like, if it's love, just bring it on. I'm here. I'm like, open arms, everything. Just give me all. Just bring it all. Yeah, it's
Mm.
beautiful. It truly is.
It is
Yeah.
a beautiful energy, and it's really getting out of the fears of the mind, the limitations that the mind and the ego bring, and feeling into our body, our soul, our heart, and allowing that to come through. Because I think, at least in the Western world, so many of us are taught to doubt our feelings, and that our feelings aren't something to trust. And while, yes, there's
Mm.
emotions that come in that we need to work with and clear, but
Yeah.
the heart, like you said, it knows the way. And even
Yeah.
science today is proving that the heart knows before the brain.
Yeah.
We know things, we feel things in our
Yeah.
soul and our heart, and then it tells the brain, and the body reacts.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. And one thing that I think about, and I understand the trap and how the mind so incredibly works, and how it can really trap and gets us into that fear, and like and hooks us in that fear and that doubt, and because that once the doubt, and they were like, oh wait, oh well, I don't know, maybe, oh, you think, oh, and we start this like back and forward, where love is just like, wants to just
Mm-hmm.
go, and it's just like, no, no, hold, no, no, hold. And I I would ask people, is that, if you have you ever, and in my own case, and for the things that happened to me, and I use myself as an example, I have never ever regret opening up for love.
Mm.
It had hurt me, yes, it have. Do I regret it? Not for a second, because it was worth it. What I got, and again, it was all the lessons and incredible things that I get. Love will not hurt. Love doesn't hurt us. It's an experience around titles, and it might feel like it's hurting you. But again, it's a teacher, and it's how you see it, and what you're choosing. You're choosing love, you're choosing fear, how you choose to see the reality. You can say, oh yeah, of course that it hurts when this person betrayed me and left me. Yes, it did hurt. I'm not running away. I'm not in denial. I'm not running away for the feelings. If anything, I would say, everyone, feel everything, embrace it all. Because that's one of the beautiful, incredible things about this human experience that we have, is the capacity to feel, not only love, to feel everything, because everything at the end is just, there's no, it's the other side of the coin. So
Mm-hmm.
you can, I would not know what love feels like if I wouldn't have I haven't felt the other part. So you need to have both, the spectrum, like you said, to truly have the full experience. And that is also another beautiful thing of love, and it's just, they give us everything, the full spectrum of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And being human, and allowing ourselves to feel our humanness. And there are things that we need to clear, but oh, being human is, it can be beautiful if we choose to
Yeah.
allow it to be. And there's so many studies. um I am a documentary kind of a person. I love the documentary called I Am by Tom Shadyac. And
Mhm.
in that documentary, there's a moment where they have these machines, and they can um, measure the energy that's around the world. And sometimes they can predict where a storm or some type of natural disaster is going to
Yeah.
happen. But they've used these machines to test humans interacting with other humans. And when humans come together in love, they're
Mm.
smiling at each other, they're hugging each other. Those machines pick it up, and they pick up the frequency of love. So like you said, it is ripples. And if we just choose to smile at a person as we walk down the
Yeah.
street, it's a small gesture where we
Yeah.
are spreading our love and tapping into our heart, and telling other people it's safe and it's okay to be here. I am a safe person and I love you. And you know what? We can set our differences aside and move
Yeah.
forward in love.
Totally. Totally. So you said there is a small gesture. There is no, in love, there is no big or small gesture. It's all love. Love
Mm,
have no measure. Love will not measure you for, oh, you did a big act of love or a small act of kindness, or it's just you're speaking the language of love. And that's what matters. If it was that just being in the train, in the subway, and you're early in the morning, it's here in Germany, I'll do that. It's funny still to do it for the reaction, just to look at people and smile, and just smile and said, yeah, but people don't do that here. And I'm like, I do it.
yeah.
And it's just do it and just look at, and they might be like, whoa, what? Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about just having that, spreading that. If you can do that and spread that kindness, however you want to call it, kindness and love, there's so many different acts of love that we can do in every given moment. And it's that choice that we have. You can create ripples
Mm.
anytime. How many? How many if you want to? It's your choice. So we have this, really, we can change, as you said, as much as changing reality. We have the capacity to do that. How? By exercising of ability to create ripples of love.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes. So do you have any tips or suggestions? Because we've talked about, feeling into that. I know you shared just releasing the fear and really tapping into the
Mhm.
heart. Do you have any little tips that people can do to
To,
start?
to tap into love.
Yeah, and to let go of some of those fears and really trust themselves.
Yeah. For me to tap into love, and it's I will, especially when you're not so used to do it that you can just tap into it. I'll say bring something that a moment, a memory, and it could be, some people's like, oh, what brings me joy is if I think about puppies, and I'm like, well, then think about puppies. That's what brings you joy. So you're gonna think I'm silly. I would not think you're silly. Just what brings you joy? What brings that puts your heart that expansive? What is that? What is expansive for you? When I think about the smile of my two kids, when I think about my dog, when I think about my cat, when I'm walking in the street and I feel the sun like coming through the leaves, and just the heat in my face, that expansive, that whatever it is, feel that. Think about birth. You're gonna have to think, use the mind, like to bring that memory in it, and then you bring the memory and then tap into the feeling. What was the feeling that you were feeling in that moment? And that it comes, it acts literally. It's a beautiful exercise, beautiful thing to see. They will ask them, I ask them to close their eyes, and you will see within seconds they're smiling. They have a smile on their face. Their eyes are closed, but they're already smiling because they tap into that feeling, and just tap into the feeling and stay in that feeling. And then what I would say is like, use your imagination. If you're not used to do this work, just use your imagination and imagine that you're just growing that, like grow that feeling. Like how can just feel it more deeply and go more deep into that moment, and to just be there, feel it. You are there again. You're feeling it. You're being, and that will help to increase to that. It's actually how we are increasing this energetic bubble, or if you want
Mm-hmm.
to call it. So that's what we're doing. But if people is not used to work with energy or anything, it doesn't matter. Just what brings you joy? Think about that. Do you have it in your mind? Can you see it? Yes. How it feels? How was it? Feel it. and then tap. As soon as you feel it, you're there. You tap into it.
Yeah.
That,
Oh, sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
yeah, sorry, sweetie. Yeah.
No. So really it feels like becoming aware of, so if we're not used to recognizing that within ourselves, we need to go into the past and see where have we felt that before
Yeah,
and bringing that to our memory. And then from there, there's an awareness, a remembrance, so that when we're experiencing it, like you said, just the sun on your skin, and allowing yourself to really be present and feel that it is love, instead of just, I feel like there's so many times that we're just unaware and ignoring the things that are beauty and pleasure in our life, and just allowing ourselves to really be aware and present and feel that. And then we know when love is there, and feel it in the moment, where we don't
yeah,
necessarily have to go back anymore. We're already in
exactly.
it.
Yeah, because you have that awareness, as you said. That's another key, that you have that awareness. And again, that love can be, because sometimes people get entangled and they think and that love can only be experienced and felt between humans. But love, yeah, or it could be like, I can feel only love with my pets. I can feel and tap into love, even if you are, for me, connecting to nature. It's a I tap into love when I'm in touch with nature. And it could be just sitting there and I connect with water. And when I'm by the lake, or if I am so, oh God, the ocean, and I'm just being there. And I have this gratitude. Gratitude is an amazing way also to tap into love, just like this. And it can move you. Gratitude can move you to tears. And that's the amount, this overflow. It's just like, for me, it comes like a tsunami. It's like a boom of love that I start crying, like, but it's gratitude and it's love. It is love, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And it depends of each person, how you feel it, how it looks like for you. There is no right or wrong. Oh, I feel expansive when I'm having my coffee in the morning and I'm seeing the sun rising. That's wonderful. Feel expansive, connect to that, and be in that moment and feel it and create that awareness, so you can recognize when it comes. You're like, and you stop and flavor it, really savor that moment, like acknowledge that moment. Just don't let it, like, well, we're sometimes, you said, busy, that we
Mhm.
just stop in that moment, just for a fraction of a second. It's just like, and you tap into that love for just a second, and you let that love surround you and embrace you. And that love, that instant, that moment can carry you for the whole day.
Mhm.
You tap into that. And if things are going well, tap back into love. You tap into that as many times as you have to. Yeah,
Mm.
I think that's another key.
Yeah, I love that. And again, I'm going to bring the science in here. But science has proven that there are things like the sun or trees or grass that vibrate at the frequency of love. The frequency of love is 528 hertz. The
Mm.
earth resonates at that. Our heart resonates at that. And there are things around us that if we do become present and just feel, we can connect with that vibration
Yeah,
and bring ourselves to that level. It's so beautiful.
absolutely, absolutely. And in that way, I will invite people. Have you ever reading that poem, like Dance Like No One Was Watching You?
Yeah.
I will invite people, just do that. Oh my God. Some people, sometimes not people that is in my life any longer, because I have decided to, whoever is not honoring me, I'm like, I'd rather not have that people in my life. And it's that will make fun of me because oh, you're a tree hugger. And I think I honor Earth. Like
Mhm.
I am I am in love with Mother Earth, with Pachamama. I absolutely love her. She's the ultimate example of unconditional love. She is always giving, no questions asked, just giving and giving and giving. And it's just that, just, oh, well, you want me to hug a tree? Why not? If it's too much of a thing, just take off your shoes and just feel the grass. And if that is even too much for you, just sit there and just allow the sun to shine through and just feel into that, just the warmth, or just close your eyes and just feel the wind, or just hearing how the leaves are moving. It's just allow yourself for a moment, and don't worry about, oh, what people is going to think if I just stop there and close my eyes and just like, you take in just for 2 seconds, just take it in and carry on. But just allow yourself, it's a gift that you're giving to yourself. And again, I cannot think of anyone more worthy than you. There's nothing, there's more, it's worthy than you giving yourself that gift. If it's not you, who? It is you. Again, we come back to this, to the beginning. It is you. It's always been you, and it will always be you. Yeah.
Such a beautiful message. Oh, so as we wind down a little bit, I love this conversation, especially when you and I talk about the heart. There's just an activation that happens within me. But I also know that you are an author, and I would love to hear a little bit about your book if you'd like to share.
Yes, of course. So I have 2 books. My second book was published last year because we're already in 2022. So it's published last year. It's called Sovereignty, and it's about, really, it's a story. They're beautiful conglomerates, just beautiful women, all empowered women, and we all get together and we all write different stories, but it's all about reclaiming your power, being sovereign, because we are all sovereign beings, and in different degrees and different shapes and different forms. It was about my part. It was about that. It was about my part. It was specifically my story, from how my story with when I was physically abused, and how I stepped from that, from a place of stop being a victim, and said, I will not allow this to define me. I will not allow this to define me. It happened, yes. Did I learn from it? Oh, yes. And am I going to stay there forever? No, I won't. I'll use that. How I use that as a stepping stone. Like this will propel me into something in my becoming, my this stepping stone that I'm talking about. I have mentioned a few times already today, and it's in that, and it was sharing about that, and sharing also how, in the end, is how we are the ones. I share my story of how, when I was in this abusive relationship that ended up to me being physically abused, and then I also share my experience with my ex, and how we end up with the betrayal and all of that happened, and end up in him leaving and me being in a foreign country with my kids. So it was how, again, the choice. It's what I'm choosing, and I'm choosing to live in being the victim of what happened in my life, the circumstances. No, I won't do that. I'm not denying, again, the pain that I felt. Yes, it was super painful, and I'm not denying the fact that it broke me. No, but it was what it cracked me open. And sometimes we need to be cracked open in order to that. You said that a phoenix. I needed to be on my knees. My own story. I needed that. So life brought me an experience that was going to bring me to my knees, so I could use that to become the person that I was meant to be, and to be in truly alignment with my fullest potential, and to be truly in alignment with my soul calling. I needed to be brought up to my knees, and that's what God gave me in order for me to being able to have that possibility of becoming my highest version of myself. So I'm grateful for that. I'm really, really, really grateful for what happened, and even how it happens. It's different for each person. Some people don't need to be getting like on the dust, like I said, in your face. We're gonna just like, oh, really? We need to get to this stand. Apparently, I needed to. but some people, not everyone have. It doesn't have to be in that way. So the book is about that. It's really sharing very personal, how was my story and how I decided to step away from being a victim and using that as the fuel that propelled me into the highest version of myself, and actually the most authentic self that I have ever been in my life. Because I have been hiding, dimming out myself and my life for so long, so long. I've done that I needed this to say, you know what? We're done with that. We're not going to dim ourselves anymore. We're not going to chop part of ourselves in order to be loved or accepted, or we're done doing that. You're going to be you, the most authentic, unapologetic you that you can be. And that's what I do. And it's just, if it's too much for some people, it's okay. Some people say, yeah, you could be, sometimes maybe you're going to be too much. You're going to be too much for the wrong people. But for the right people, you're just the perfect amount of too muchness, if there is such a thing. That I don't believe in that. But anyway, it's just about, it will bring the right people to your life. So in anything, even for that, it's good, because it shake away the people that no longer it's meant to be in your life. So even in that case, it is positive. Yeah. That's the book. I share very, very personal stories, details of my story, but it's about all of that and really empowering women and men that have been in stories of abuse, or have been stories of infidelity, if it was my case with my ex-husband, and betrayal and all of that, to really say, you know what, it can happen, but it doesn't define your story. You're much more than that. You're so much more than this. So dust yourself, rise again, and we keep going. Yeah. We keep going. Yeah.
Absolutely. We keep going. And then we inspire others to do the same with our little ripples of love.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Endless possibilities. And now I'm connecting with hummingbird, but yes, it's endless possibilities. It truly is. And the only person that can put limits, it's ourselves, because there are actually no limits, but the ones that are owned. There are no limits. It's what you choose to see as a limitation. That's a different story, but there are no limits. Just go, as I go crazy, in that sense of just go bold and just go for it. Can you see it, feel it, anchor into it, and then just go for it? There is no limit, not at all. Yeah.
Yes. So beautiful. Well, I have loved talking with you. Would you mind just sharing how people can connect with you?
Yes, of course. So you can contact me in social media. You can have my website. It's Isaamary, my name. It's Issamary, like IsaMaryBlanco.com. You can also find me on Facebook, that it's Issa Blanco Holistic Healing, or on Instagram, that is Issa Mary Blanco also. So Instagram, I'm also on YouTube. There's all these different ways that you can find me on my website, Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube, and it's my name, Issa Mary Blanco.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for all the wisdom that you've shared today and the ripples that you've spread out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'll just, before we wrap out, I would like to say to whoever is hearing, if you are in a place in your life that you feel that, if you feel that it's too much, if you feel that you can't, if you feel that you're too broken, to even beyond repair, because I felt at some point that I was beyond repair, broken, and you don't know where to start and you don't know what to do, and you need someone to talk, something to hold on to, I am here. And if it's not me, there's so many other beautiful souls out there. You're not alone. You're never, ever alone. You might feel alone, but you're not. And yeah, and as I said I see you, you matter. And even if I don't know you, we're all made of the same. And therefore, the same love made you and made me. And then I love you. I love you. I love you. I see you and I honor you. And you're not alone. Yeah, never alone. And thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. And what a beautiful message to end with. So, yes, let's just take a moment and tap into our hearts with that beautiful message that Isaamary just gave us, and just feel that love that she is rippling out to all of you and all of us, and connect with that love. Thank you so much. And everyone, remember that you are limitless, as Issa Mary Blanco has brought that message to us. You are limitless.
Yeah.
Love has no limits, and there are always ripples in every moment that you choose.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.